Wednesday. It's been a long time since I've actually recorded a video. For this video, I'm gonna add some snippets of our trip to Tuscany. It was the first time we've both ever been, and it's been on our bucket list for ages. We celebrated our first year anniversary there, so I'll put in a snippet of that and I'll chat through some of the places that we saw, the absolutely amazing hotel that we stayed at. Could not recommend the hotel anymore, to be honest, and just a few other bits and pieces that's been happening in our life. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. We drove to Gatwick Airport for our 9 o'clock flight. We actually parked at the airport for about £80. It's probably the easiest thing that we do now. We never get the taxi or the train. And then once we arrived in Italy, we picked up a little Fiat Panda, which you can see Dave driving here. It was such a long day for us. We actually only arrived at our hotel about 6 p.m. So it's a little bit on the dark and cloudy side, but the hotel was amazing. We stayed in a luxury suite because it was our first year anniversary and we decided to treat ourselves. The hospitality at the hotel was amazing and it was just such a clean and well-kept hotel. Absolutely no complaints whatsoever, and our room was amazing. It had another floor upstairs with a chessboard. Insane. I'm quite picky with hotel bathrooms, but as you can see, it was very, very big and so clean, so no complaints there. The best part of the hotel is actually the outside. The gardens were insane. I don't know if that's very telling of our age, but we really enjoyed just walking around the grounds, and the sunsets here were also amazing, even on a cloudy day like this. So we were very happy with our hotel choice, and that was actually Dave's choice, so well done to Dave. As I mentioned, we arrived quite late on the Friday, so this was about sort of 6 or 7 p.m. We managed to book quite a late dinner, so this was around 9 p.m. at a hotel nearby. I didn't take many great videos, but the food was really good and it was a spa during the day. So here's what we had. As you can see, very fancy, and yeah, no complaints on the food, and the service was brilliant. The next day was Saturday, but it was also our first year anniversary, so we decided to do quite a chill day overall. So in the morning we had a wander around the hotel grounds again, and the amazing thing about this hotel is that they basically grow, I don't think they grow all their veg, but they grow a fair amount of veg and all of their kind of cut flowers on the grounds. So you can see here there's loads of vegetable beds, but also cut flower beds, and we just had a nice little wander and took inspiration for our forever home eventually. I know, big dreams. Because of all the wonderful gardens, there was so much wildlife. I managed to take a little gecko here, but there were so many kind of bees and butterflies constantly, and it was just beautiful. This was the pool area, again, stunning and straight out of a postcard. Like I said, I could not believe we were here. It almost feels like a dream watching this back. The villa itself, obviously it is a hotel, but the actual kind of staircase, the hallways, the little kind of reception rooms and snugs, they were all so perfectly renovated. And then, yeah, just absolute fangirl for this hotel. We would definitely go back. So hopefully we're lucky enough to go back in the future. We headed out about 11 after the buffet breakfast, which was, again, amazing. And like I said, we decided to keep it quite low-key on the Saturday because it was our anniversary, but we managed to go and see 2 little towns. So the first town we went to see was Cortona. So if you've seen the film Under the Tuscan Sun, this is the town where the film was based, and it was just a lovely town. It was very busy, I would say, because it was just the market day, I think, and yeah, it was probably a little bit more busier than we had hoped, but we didn't actually spend too much time here. It was about 40 minutes. We browsed around the shops, we walked around, soaked in all the sights, and then we decided to jump in the car and go and see another town, which was about, I believe it was about half an hour drive from Cortona. I actually can't remember this, it might be 45 minutes, but we went to somewhere called Montepulciano, and this was hands down one of my favourite towns that we visited. It had so many restaurants, such cute little kind of nooks and little side streets, and it was the right amount of busy. That's probably the best way to describe it. It wasn't overheaving with people, and there was just a nice buzz in the town. And I could tell that in the evening it probably comes more to life because there were kind of outdoor events going on. We saw the seating set up outside in like I think it might have been a theatre, outdoor theatre, which is really cool. I wish we had more time in Tuscany because otherwise we probably would have come here in the evening, had dinner here, but we only had a short time. But we did stick around to try possibly one of the nicest sandwiches I've ever tasted. I think I dream about this now and then. But yeah, it was basically a very crispy focaccia sandwich, and it had pistachio pesto, a bit of cream cheese and mortadella. And honestly, I know that sounds so simple, but it was insane. I tried to replicate this at home and couldn't, but hopefully we can go again and try some more. Then we went to a little cafe, I can't remember the name of it, but we had some dessert and yeah, just enjoyed the views before we headed back to our hotel. We were very lucky with the weather on this day. The forecast was actually meant to be stormy for the whole day, and it turned out that it was only 10 minutes, so very lucky. We returned to the hotel, and oh my god, this view honestly took our breath away every time we walked downstairs. We decided to stay in the hotel for dinner this evening, so we didn't go far. It meant that we could, you know, have a drink. Dave could have a drink and enjoy himself and not have to worry about driving back. And who could say no to this view? So we sat outside just before our reservation and had a few drinks and enjoyed the views. We decided to go with a 5-course meal for that evening because obviously it was our anniversary and we thought, let's treat ourselves. They make all the bread and pastries on site. So that little door you can see there was a little pastry chef in there. The food was amazing. The service was amazing. So yeah, we really, really enjoyed ourselves. The view was breathtaking. And the sunsets here are, yeah, just second to none. I was really bad with taking some videos, so here's some pictures of the meals that we had. I think it was from earth to sea, so it was a mix of kind of like meat and fish. But yeah, we were very full after that. The next day, we again had quite a chill morning after breakfast. We went and had a bit of a swim, and then we jumped straight into the car to visit 2 new towns. So I am very lucky to have a friend and colleague from Italy, and she took us around her hometown, which is Arezzo, which is what you can see here. The weather was 10 out of 10, and we had a lovely mini walking tour with my friend, and it's such an amazing town. And we went into kind of the cathedral and heard about the history of the town, and we heard that there was a festival kind of every June and September, which I think they do jousting, but it's a bit like Harry Potter. Everyone from that town are put into like houses, and yeah, it's such an amazing story, and I wish we can go and see one day. And then we went to a medieval town afterwards. So we spent about an hour or 2 in Arezzo, and this little town was about 25 minutes away from Arezzo. It's somewhere called Anghiari. Hopefully I haven't butchered that name, but it's a very cute little medieval town. It was insanely quiet. I think we might have been 2 of 10 people walking about in the town. It was a Sunday, so I think that's why. But they have loads of little museums and historical things in the town. We were quite tired at this point because it was insanely warm and we had been walking around for about an hour or 2. So we only stayed there for about 20 minutes, half an hour at most, and had a little drink and an ice cream. And then we headed back to our hotel to again just soak in everything. The hotel was also nestled amongst sunflower fields, which I had no idea Tuscany was known for. And yeah, we again decided to stay in our hotel for our dinner as well. I know it probably seems a bit boring, but when you've got such an amazing hotel, we just wanted to make the most of it, and we tried Florentine steak for dinner, and yeah, as you can see, it was delicious, and we have no regrets on staying in the same restaurant 2 days in a row. I think if we came back here again, we probably would spend less time at the hotel, but if you do come here, like, honestly, I wouldn't go anywhere else for dinner, especially if you're only staying here for kind of 2-3 days. So yeah, that was our Sunday. Monday was the day that we were travelling back to the UK, so we decided to stop off at Florence before going to the airport. We parked in a local car park and went for a walk, and I'm sure Florence is a lovely, lovely city on a normal day, but we were so knackered, and for some reason the town was heaving. We went to this little market before we actually went to kind of the central town square, but we didn't end up buying anything. We quickly kind of made our way to the square, and yeah, it was just a bit too busy for our liking, and we went and had lunch. So we had like a little chicken sandwich and a coffee, and we headed back to our car. I don't know if I would go to Florence again. I know that's a kind of wild statement, but I think we're just a couple who really enjoy like countryside, seaside stays over city breaks. So that was our trip. And yeah, I absolutely loved Tuscany. We got back, our journey back was really smooth. We picked up our car and headed straight back home to be back with Milo. So it's Sunday morning today. Dave's actually away this weekend at his friend's house. So they do like an NFL draft every year, and yeah, he's just gone to do his annual trip. So I've been alone since sort of Saturday afternoon actually. And I thought I'd do a bit of filming because I haven't, like I said, I haven't done much. Just having a very delicious pistachio ice latte with oat milk, so good. My current obsession. The plan for today, our weekly food shop's arriving in about an hour and a bit, and Dave's going to be coming back around 2:30. I think we'll probably just chill today, take Marla for a walk. I really need to clean the kitchen. On the camera's doing it justice. It's tidy, but it's not like clean. Like I need to mop the floor and stuff. I thought I'd do a very quick segment on things that I'm loving at the moment. So a bit of food, a bit of like things to watch. So I am really loving the pistachio syrup. So these syrups I used to be obsessed with during COVID. So I would have, so this is a 700ml bowl. I used to have 2-litre bowls, 1 vanilla, 1 caramel with those pump thingies next to the coffee machine all the time. Now, I know it's not good for you, it's a lot of sugar, but I have probably the tiniest splash in my coffee once a day. So it's not like too bad. It's not as bad as my obsession back in COVID. I think that's probably where most of my weight gain came about. So yeah, highly recommend if you haven't tried it. I got that off of Amazon because it's quite difficult to get in the supermarket, to be honest. But yeah, it's an Amazon purchase. It took a while to come as well. So just in case you are thinking about this. So moving on to like food products, I love this brand, Arezzo. And yeah, we love this brand in our household. We usually buy the harissa paste, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna try something new. So the first one I've got is the wild mushroom pesto. This was so good with just pasta, mushrooms and spinach. So obviously we're trying to up our vegetable intake, and it is quite hard to do it actually, like having a conscious thought of having fruit and veg every day, like way more than the 5 a day recommendation. So this makes it really, really yummy. So it's a wild mushroom pesto. What does it have in it? To be fair, most of the ingredients in here are like real foods. They're not like random chemicals and stuff. So I think I also like it because of that. But it's white mushrooms with cheese in it. So if you are lactose intolerant, probably not a good one for you, but this is really good. This one is very special. So this is a green chili paste. So in our cooking, we really love like spicy, like proper spicy food. I say proper spicy. Dave loves proper spicy food. I'm a little bit more lenient on my spice. I can't handle it, even though I'm Sri Lankan, but it is what it is. This is basically mushed up green chili, but it also has caramelized onion and like loads of other little ingredients like garlic, pumpkin seeds, spinach. So it has like quite healthy ingredients in here, and it just tastes really good. So you can put this in pretty much anything. We have so far put it in a Thai green curry. We've also put it in like a spicy pasta as well. So yeah, really good. And this lasts a long time. So you only use like a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons. So yeah, really like it. This keeps up to 2 weeks. I reckon it will last a bit longer. But yeah, very much a fan of this brand. The other brands that I'm loving at the moment. So when we went to Italy, before we went, I said to Dave, I need to have a gelato a day. It's the only time I can have ice cream every day and not feel guilty about it. And I didn't do that. I had one ice cream, and it wasn't even gelato. It was like a stick ice cream that you get in like a pre-packed thing. So yeah, I was very disappointed. So I came home and I was like, do you know what? I just want to get a really nice gelato from Waitrose. And I have tried, they're called Hackney Gelato. So I'm not gonna lie, this looks very pretentious, and it probably is, but it was a treat. It was 2 for £8, and I got the pistachio flavour, obviously, and banana, caramel and pecan. Both of these, delicious. I would say I obviously prefer the pistachio over the banana, caramel and pecan, but only by just a smidgen. I would say that was fully worth the 2 for £8. We haven't finished it because, again, we're trying to be like on the healthier side. Usually I would smash one of those tubs in the olden days. But yeah, those are my favourite brands at the moment. And then things we're watching. We started watching Dexter's, I think it's Dexter Resurrection. That's on Paramount, so if you don't have Paramount, then you'll probably have to subscribe. But we got about a month's subscription because it's about halfway through the series already. So we have caught up to the kind of live weekly releases, and I think another episode was released now. It's so good. Only if you obviously loved the original Dexter, I would recommend watching that. So that is definitely top show at the moment. We have also started watching Wednesday, 2nd season, because I loved the 1st season, and Dave surprisingly loved it too. I'm very much like, I love everything spooky. So anything like Wednesday, Sabrina, I used to love Charmed, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, all of those things are like things I loved growing up and I still love them now. So Wednesday is also on the list. There was another thing that I'm watching, I can't remember the name of it, but it's on the top 10 in the UK. It's basically an American girl who's moved to the UK, broke up, had like a really bad breakup in the UK, in America, came to the UK, met someone on her first day. Can't remember the name. I want to say it's Nobody's Perfect. Maybe, I don't know. But sort of half watching that. Dave didn't really enjoy it, so I've been watching it whilst Dave's been away this weekend and also last weekend because he had a stag do. So that's another thing I'm enjoying TV wise. Our planning deadline for our extension is next week. We have had to tweak our drawings a little bit, so the roof of the extension is going to be slightly lower. It's not going to impact the internal space, it's just on the outside it's not going to look as nice. But it is what it is. I think it's still going to give us the space that we need it to. We should hopefully find out next Wednesday, so hopefully it's an approval. We've had a kitchen design done, which I'll try and show like a screen grab of it here. It's a local kitchen workshop that do quite similar, I would say similar designs to like Neptune and Devol kitchen, but it is very expensive. So this isn't, I've said this on multiple videos before, this isn't our forever home, so we're not going to spend like loads and loads of money on a kitchen. However, the design services for these brands are really, really good. So we are making the most of it. We're going to get a design done by Neptune as well, and basically put together some of their ideas and create our own, basically. So that's the plan. What other things have happened? I've got a new car, which is really nice. So it's the new XC90 from Volvo. So it's slightly newer than their older version. I'll put a snippet of what it looks like on the front. It's basically a really nice new grille. They've got a new internal like dashboard change as well. So there's a new, I forgot what it's called, a new screen in the middle. So it looks a little bit Tesla-y, but I think it's made a huge improvement. And yeah, that's what's happened in the past 2 weeks whilst I've been offline. I feel so rejuvenated after the Italian holiday, and if you haven't been to Tuscany, definitely go. Our hotel was amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.